Hello, welcome to Eriu Tarot Readings. I'm Eriu and let's have a look at your September Love 2020 reading. So remember, this is normally based on your sun sign. If you don't get all that you need from this one, do check out your moon and your rising sign as well. And more importantly, because this is your love reading, have a look at your Venus and your Mars sign as well. But enough of all that, let's see what September Love has in store for you. I'm really looking forward to it. Hi Aries and welcome to your September love reading. As you can see, this is a slightly different format. I'm going to try different formats each month, and if you do like this, please leave a message in the comment box as well. That would be really helpful for me and for developing content on this channel that you enjoy. So this particular deck I'm using is a Druid Craft Tarot deck. It's by Phillip and Stephanie Carr Gomm, and it's illustrated by Worthington as well. So this has a really high aesthetic of Celtic and pagan culture, which I love, so I hope you enjoy them as well. Right, let's jump straight in. So you're going to be the top row, Aries, and the person that you have in question, that you're thinking of, that you're currently seeing, or a person you're in a relationship with, or someone that's just around the perimeters. They're going to be the second row. Also, the middle card is this outcome card. I don't know what this is. I'm going to see it with you later on, and we'll reveal it together. But for now, we'll pop it to the side and let's have a look at your love life. So Aries, top left hand corner, very first card, we have a major arcana. So good to see. We have the Hanged Man. So with you currently, how you are, how it stands as an individual, you're looking at things from a different point of view. It could be a case that life, and I don't really want to drop the P-bomb, but the pandemic, we're still in it, we're still living with it, has really transformed how you view either certain parts of your life or the people that you surround yourself with or the work that you do. And that really high level of reevaluation has come in, so that you're going, I just don't think I want to do things this way anymore. Or it's kind of just forced you to look at things in a different way and to maybe change your actions towards them too. The Hangman as well is about not really making a decision on things, but it is also about absorbing the new things that you see around you, or I should say, the new way of seeing things around you. So your perspective has really changed. And I feel a very strong grounding of that as well. There's an element of kind of sitting on the fence. So, they say if you don't make a decision, yes or no, you're not making a decision. But it is also a decision to sit on the fence and watch and to observe and then to decide what way to move forward. So I see that's your energy here. Creativity is also a massive thing with this card, and people don't really talk about it too much, but it is there for you as well. So if you're considering going in through a creative, if you have a creative idea, or you're kind of thinking of going into an entrepreneurial role, this is seeing you do kind of the back work to that. It's not seeing you take the action just yet, but this is how you are currently. You're gaining your wisdom. That's really, really apparent to me. Family is a big thing, and being rooted down to what you know and love is very, very strong on you currently. Now, the person in question that you have an interest in, they have the Five of Pentacles. So this person really has an opposite energy than you do. So they have Five of Pentacles, being that they feel like they've been left behind by some things. Society may have made them feel like that, again, because of the current climate of which we live. So they're looking at things and going, why haven't I caught up yet? Why aren't I there? And it feels like a race that they can't win. It's almost like when you dream of physically running, but you're not getting anywhere and everyone else is passing you, or that thing that really scares you is actually coming up closer behind you and is about to get you. So there's an element of sadness with this. I think it's certain things that they deem really important that structures them is what's actually really unstable at the moment. So they're not as rooted as you. So if you have encountered this person before, it's quite apparent to you that they haven't gone over that threshold like you have just yet. It's not to say that they won't, but that's currently where you both are. And also, if we say that as this is a love reading, they may have felt left out in the cold by people they were previously with, or people that really abuse the privilege to be in their presence. Now, the second card that you have is how you see this relationship, or possible relationship, which is the Nine of Cups. So over the years, Aries, you've really learned what it takes to be part of a relationship. Some ways I see it that you learned it the hard way, but you took elements of those relationships and those particular romantic encounters, and you've really filled up your cups with them. But for me, it can be obviously a cup of healing, but I feel like this is more a cup of knowledge. You sit quite strong with yourself, so when things come to you and try and sway you, as say a lesser experienced Aries would struggle with that, but for you at the point where you are, you're really not. I also see people presenting themselves a lot more to you and then becoming options towards you. And so you're sitting back and actually just enjoying the fact that all of a sudden people of different calibers are coming out of the woodwork and presenting themselves as possible suitors for you. And it's this is the minor arcana of the star card, which is about wishes being fulfilled. So I feel like you're thinking it's about time people came forward. I always knew that person liked me. I always knew they liked me. Now they're telling me, finally, I always knew that. So you're kind of relishing in the fact that people are really, really drawn to you. And that warm Aryan energy, even though governed by Mars and it's supposed to be quite destructive, is actually quite attractive to people. So if you're putting on a little bit more sass as well, Aries, than you normally would, that's actually being translated as a very lighthearted, flirtatious energy. So people are enjoying that. Now, when we pertain it to the relationship, how you see this is that this relationship could be something that could help you accumulate more cups and help you accumulate more emotional knowledge and intelligence of yourself. Equally, though, it also means that you could give that to the other person because you have it in spades. Again, I find you very grounded, so I feel like you would be the one to initially really ground this particular experience. Now, underneath that, they have the star card. So they are bringing in their own major arcana energy too. The star card is governed by Aquarius. So what we see here is that this person wants to be seen by you in all facets, wants to have a balance of that emotional energy that you can possibly provide. But I also see that they have a strong element of that as well. Just because they're going through the Five of Pentacles doesn't mean that they can't recalibrate themselves emotionally and come back to some sort of balance. So this is what they want. This is what they're wanting to do. They also want to take a certain part of the risk with you, and that this relationship could potentially be a risk for them. So they're going to have to open themselves up a little bit more in order for you to not accept them, but for you to acknowledge and to really see that they are a contender in your life. There is a quieter aspect to this person. They're a bit more I don't want to say subdued, but there's a gentler energy. So this person may not initially be seen to you as a possible good contender, but you will see as they reveal themselves over time, which is what they're wishing to do, that they really could be good for you. Now, in your headspace, you have the Seven of Swords. Traditionally, this was known as the jokester card, the thief card, the deception card, the one that got away with things. But for me in this particular deck, that's not necessarily the case. Your headspace at the moment is kind of full. With either, again, life things or just how this relationship could possibly be. So with the sword energy of Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, you're mentally considering this relationship. It's not just in the heart. It's not in the emotions. You really want to say to yourself, and which you do I want to be part of this? And it's so funny. There's been so much predominant sword energy throughout people's readings. And for the headspace cards in particular, I find people are really considering bonding as opposed to just running away with themselves. It could be, again, the current climate we live in where we feel we need to properly reevaluate or at least evaluate accordingly the things that we involve ourselves in. And so that's kind of what you're doing here as well. And I see you doing that in a very constructive way, Aries. You're using your wit and your charm and your intellect in order to gain an advantage or to kind of recover what's really going on beneath the surface. And it is a challenge for you in order to do that, because it seems as though you're how you would normally do things. Maybe in the past you would use possible assumptions, or, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone that would do that, but we all assume different things, and especially in our life when we've had certain experiences, 1 + 1 = 2 every time. But this person is forcing you to be more strategic and almost do your research on them and things before moving forward in that headspace. So it's actually quite a good card with this particular deck, and I quite like it. And in many ways, for me, this particular illustration mimics that of the Hermit card. We see the candle beside them, burning that midnight oil, going internally to find the solutions, but it's not so much a journey as such as a mental journey. Now, underneath that, in their headspace, they have the Moon card. So they have their second major arcana, and you both have 2, which is quite nice. So 2 each. And the Moon card is also about going internally and researching and looking into things on a much, much deeper level. The Moon card in this particular deck, we have 2 wolves howling, and they're at the water's edge, but the moonlight is guiding the way for them. As always, though, the moonlight can be a tricky thing because it doesn't always reveal as much as the sunlight does. And it's like those darker times in your room where just a beam of light will come through and would only illuminate certain things, and it can look different to how we really see them in the sunlight. So they're also doing their own inner research. It may not be as illuminated as yours, albeit you only kind of have the candle to guide your way, but your mental processes are really healthy and they're going to help you. This person's delving deep into the emotions. We see a lot of that in their cards. If we combine it with the Star card here and the Moon card, it is about wanting to show, to be seen, and to reveal oneself, but also at the same time holding a certain amount of secrets of themselves. So that could be why, Aries, you've gone into that 7 of Swords energy to do your research, because you feel that underbelly, but you can't pinpoint it. And they're showing you with the Moon card, they're agreeing with you. Yes, that is here. There are deeper waters here that I just don't show anybody, but I have to make sure that you are potentially the one that I can do that with. Now, in the heart space here, we have the World card for you. It's the top right hand corner. It's the final card on your line. So your heart space is becoming very, very open and very, very patient. I feel that from you. There is a certain amount of patience moving forward towards someone that you could open your heart up to. And with the World card, there are many things that are in balance for you, and it feels like the end of a chapter has finally come and a new one is really beginning. And that's why your heart space is telling you, even though the head space is very much in the mind, the heart space is saying, yeah, like I think I feel this, and I feel I want to invest in this, and I feel I want to move forward with this. Also, you are taking on many traits of this person as well, or at least replicating them. So your desire to be seen and to reveal yourself is very much here, but your head chakra is also illuminated, which means that you are of sound mind in your decision making too. And in a weird way, you're balancing out your heart and your mind. It feels as though you have all the elements to really move forward, if you should so wish, in a loving manner and nature towards this person. And the funny thing is, they have the Magician card underneath you. So sorry, I was wrong earlier when I said they have 2 each. They've 3 and you've 2. Very, very strong energy. This is a very different type of relationship that you've ever had before, that you ever considered venturing into. Within the World card, we see in this particular deck that they have the elements of the 4 suits in each corner. The Magician card equalizes that as well. That is mirroring exactly what the World card does, except this is more on an individual level. So with the World card saying that something is coming to an end and a new chapter is beginning, the Magician comes along as number 1 to say, I am the new chapter. So this is really great exchange of energy. So with the World card, it's a cyclical, and the Magician comes in, it's like, I'll take the reins, and then it passes to you, and it's really, really nice. This person is finally in their heart space saying, I have all the elements too that I can provide love for you, and I understand love. I just couldn't say it properly, I couldn't show it properly, and things may have happened in the past where it stunted my ability to speak of these things. But they come across with the Magician energy, even though the Magician is 1, and we see that as a very strong individual. With the the World card, we equally have a strong individual. So I feel like finally, Aries, you're meeting someone that's on your level. Despite how you do things, I think it's very important to view and to acknowledge that how you both do things is a little bit different. This person might be a little bit more emotional than you're used to, or might be more emotional in comparison to you, but your end goals, your fundamentals, your foundations, your morals, your code, your ethics, that is all very, very similar. And I always think that that's actually a way better place to start with a relationship, knowing those things, because once you have that foundation of similarity, you can only grow from there. Okay, Aries, let's look at your outcome card. I don't know what this is either, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's see the outcome. Six of Pentacles. So when I spoke to you about an exchange of energy back and forth, it being cyclical between the two of you, the six of Pentacles is very much confirming that for me. So with the six here, as with any even number, we have a balance on either side. So both of you bring something to the table. It's also, again, when I say that it's cyclical, that it comes back around, the understanding and giving and receiving is very apparent between the two of you. And it actually helps your relationship grow a little bit more, that the dynamic energy between the two of you is never going to be one-sided. It's always going to give back, one to the other, one to the other. And why I say that you finally met someone on your level, it's because there are times, Aries, where people have said to you, you be the one to take the reins, you be the one to do this, you be the one to do that. And sometimes those more quieter energies would allow you to do that because they see you in a very natural leadership role. However, that doesn't mean you always want to be the leader. You want to know that the person that you're with, you can lean upon, that when you are tired, that they take the reins. And this person is very much so doing that for you and kind of to you as well. They're reminding you, look, I'm going to take the reins when it gets heavy because I see you tired. That's okay. I'll do that. And it's really accepting that, Aries, allowing the other person to do that, even though they're telling you that, you allowing that energy to take hold because you can fully trust the person on the side. So I really think this is very much like the Sagittarius reading. It's a very mature reading. It's just reading each other differently. So I think you might look at this person, read them one way, when in actual fact it's another, and they do that vice versa with you. But when you finally get to the core of it all, you're both very similar, and I see a lot of love here. And a lot of traits that you really admire and respect about one another. And that's why I really think this could be a very strong adult relationship. So Aries, this has been your love reading for September 2020. If you dig what I do, please like and subscribe. As I said, let me know what you think of this format, or if you'd like to see something in particular, put it in the comment section. I'm taking it all on board, and I'm looking forward to kind of creating content that people are really interested in viewing as well, and they feel they're getting something out of it. If you would like a private reading with me, you can certainly have one. My details are below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until then, beautiful Aries, fiery Aries, the firstborn of the zodiac, have a fantastic month. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.